All right. So this is the first stream in the finished studio. I mean, it wasn't quite finished last time I streamed. It was like 2 weeks ago, maybe. The ceiling cloud's up now. The back wall is basically finished. I mean, if I want to do more treatment to it, I will. I do want to get a couple more pieces of small treatment in the room here, like here and here and above this command center that I have here. I'll put pictures up on the channel here after we're done, but it's really coming along. And to be honest, I think one more like angled ceiling cloud right here would just do the trick. So basically this is more of a, I'm working on stuff that I've already got almost finished, so you're gonna hear a pretty polished track. But I actually did this in one day. It's only like maybe 3 hours of production put into this. So we'll also listen to something else I made too the other day as well, and it's only got about 4 hours of production put into it as well. So I wanted to enter that remix contest for Marshmello, so we're gonna try and win that contest. And I've got a few things I want to do to this track before I upload it. So, oh, that's like a long, it's like a long thing. Maybe I could just go like this. So let's give it a listen first and see what I'm trying to do. Okay, so that's the ending. I want to add something right here, and I'm not sure how it's going to sound, so we're just going to mute this, mute this.
Everybody put them up now.
We got to make this fit into... Let me try to like...
Everybody put them up now.
Oof. A bit too much there. Let's see if I can just do this.
Everybody put them up now. Everybody put them up now. Everybody put them up now.
Now that's not gonna work. Maybe if I do something from, grab another sample from. I like that one. I'll just mute that. Oh no, I got a better idea. Let's bring it back down over here. It still needs to be shorter. Maybe like this. I'm going to shorten it even a little bit more. Just a tiny bit. Come on, mouse. We'll move it a little bit further up front. Perfect. Now let's crank up. I want it shorter. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. So now, let's check out how I kept it the same. So here's Marshmello's song. I really tried keeping it the same. Or same structure. I'll solo between mine and his out. Here's mine. His sounds kind of muddy to me. His sounds kind of muddy to me, but let's keep going. I kind of like that bass he's got right there. I got this synth. Here's mine. But let's listen to Marshmello's here for a second. It's different. I like my drop better. Here's where it differs a lot. See, he has the same build-up and everything. I changed the build-up quite a bit. Do I have something also playing? Oh. I don't need that. Try 2 decibels over it. Yeah. Okay, so I changed it quite a bit, but I kept the structure. So I kept this effects loop here pretty much identical, except I took out this part. So like, actually I think I just inserted that space. I don't think I really did too much. So I copied, what was it? Where did I copy? I copied that synth that was like, was it right here? Let's try it. This block right here. So I really like the synths that I chose here. Like, let's listen to this real quick here. These synths that I made. Right there. Let's just... different chords than the original track too, so they just work well with the melody. Okay, so out of all the other remixes, there's like all these remixes that are uploaded. Like, I'm gonna upload this one, but I'm just trying to like see. I was trying to see which ones are gonna be good. But I'm just not into that one. Not into this one. See, I'm just not into those. They're not as well. And that's not good. Where's that one that I found that was actually pretty good? I found one that was pretty good this morning when I was listening to the song. Drum and bass. And it's alright. There's this one here that doesn't sound like the same, like even they use anything from the production. No, it's not this one. Yeah. He used the beginning. And it's mixed well. It's mixed well. But I couldn't find anything that was actually similar or as good as mine. So I'm hoping that I win this one. I really do. There's not as many as you might think. Well, a couple more were uploaded earlier today. Let's try this one. I just don't think any of them are going to hit quite as hard as mine. And this isn't even the master. You're not even hearing the master. But let's check out what I made earlier in the past couple days. This is Missing Out. Drop into
I've got the feelers missing now.
So I just made that recently, and then there's this. I don't know if I showed you guys this. There's another song that's a drum and bass track that I literally just finished the other day, but I've been working on it for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks now.
It's just the chaos in the dark. You can see my scars.
And yes, that is me singing.
Everywhere you are, you know I'll never be that far. It's just the chaos in the dark. You can see my scars. Everywhere you are, you know I'll never be that far. It's just the chaos in the dark.
got this.
You can see my scars.
I got this really cool synth.
Everywhere you are, you know I'll never be that far. It's just the chaos in the dark. You can see my scars. Everywhere you are, you know I'll never be that far. It's just the chaos in the dark.
Anyway, so those are the 3 new ones I've got. They're kind of just they're almost finished, so they are up on my SoundCloud, or at least these versions are up on my SoundCloud. The one I'm working on right now, that's Marshmello Remix, is on my SoundCloud, but it's not quite done. I want to change some things. That's what we're doing today. I want to add something else. It's like, I want to, what do people, let's do something different here. Let's do something different. Look how many risers or downlifters I have right here. See it without it in just that one. It sounds. I got that one. I got this one. They all sound incredible together, but on their own, they just sound empty. Not enough there. So a lot of these sounds I actually grabbed from Virtual Riot. Actually, all of these sounds are from different Virtual Riot sound sample packs. Now, I like to make my own sounds usually, but this is a quick remix. I was like, you know what? I bet I can get this done in a couple hours if I just use already ready-made sounds, just bass sounds that are already there. So I just chop them up and find little pieces to string together. And that's kind of how some of my stuff is made. Not all of it, some of it. I mean, the last 2 tracks are made like that. I did find a couple of splice samples to fit in that Chaos in the Dark's drum and bass track. Like that synth that I thought was really cool. That was actually a sample that I had to chop up and repitch and whatnot to get to fit just the way it was. If you're wondering what this is doing right here, this is a muted track. Wow, I'm tired. So it is literally just the triggering where the kick is, and that is for right here. So there's this EQ that ducks the low end out of this away every time that this track is played. So it's just feeding it the audio on the side chain. So watch this. Oh, not this. This. So we'll go like this. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna unfreeze this. We are going to grab a transient shaper. I'm gonna try to reduce the attack of this part. Let's just solo it out and try to work with it. That doesn't seem like it's gonna work. Let's get creative here. Let's zoom in. Because obviously this is a transient issue. So let's get creative with the transient. I need to remove this so I can go like that. Okay. Now let's find the other transients. See, it's not hard. Music production doesn't have to be hard. You just have to know what you're doing. I'm gonna lower this a bit. It's got like this compressor that is like sidechained to something in the original. Since I don't have access to the original plugins, I'm not going to be able to like actually mess with that sidechain because I like this sound. So let's just turn this down. And we can't really turn this up, so we'll just like live with it, I guess. You know what I mean? And that looks good, that looks good. See what I mean though? Like, what is this? It's got like just this big click sound. You know what I mean? It's almost like he didn't try hard on this track. And I love Marshmello's tracks, man. They're usually pretty fire, but this one is just not as good as his other ones, man. And yeah, I might be a sucker for the more poppier tracks that he makes, but that's just because I play guitar and piano and sing and do a lot of other crazy stuff that normal people don't do anymore. I'm not as great a piano player as I wish I was, but, you know, we'll get to that another time. And see, we can even turn this down a bit more. Make that side chain actually feel like a side chain. And if this doesn't work, I suppose I could just undo it all, but I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work really well. And we got how much left? Okay, 3 of them. Perfect. That's all we got left. Fucking right. I was already getting sick of it, man. I'll tell you what. Two more. And see, this is like the actual tedious part of producing an electronic song. Or a remix, I should say. I don't do too many remixes. I don't think I've actually done a remix yet, other than this one. I've always wanted to, but acquiring stems can prove to be a little bit tricky sometimes. But it's okay. This is a contest. This makes it easy. Okay, let's see what it sounds like now. Now let's replace this. Perfect. That sounded sick, what? There we go. Now we take the transient shaper and push up the attack. on it. Let's see what it sounds like. Maybe we keep this one in. And maybe we just don't turn it down all the way. Have a little bit of a track. That last one here too. Let's bring this up a little bit. Okay, now let's listen to it. I bet it sounds great now. This one right here needs to be a little bit louder. Okay, so now, yeah. I want that put 'em up there too. I don't want this just can't or right here. Let's do this. Let's grab this guy, but like a little bit before and a little bit after. I'll do this. All right. Now that I'm satisfied with that, let's export and try to just go through the mastering chain. Like, cause I want to actually go through the mastering chain with you guys, cause I don't usually do that, but. So the mastering chain is actually on a separate project. That's how most people do it. If you do it within your project, you have no ability to actually see the waveform in each step. And specifically, I like to look at the waveform for a lot of things. So, I mean, that's why I do it. I think we actually got a lot done today. I showed you some new tracks. I'm working with this other Christian rapper here. He's actually really, really good. His songs kind of remind me of like a Forrest Frank vibe. But yeah, I'm liking his song that we did together. It's nice. His song's actually called Together. It's coming out soon. I will try to do like a post or something about it when the time comes. All right, so now that we're exported, let's bring master. There it is. Okay, so we're opening this, and I've got this. I have to leave very soon. The studio, I have to leave the studio actually. So the studio's not in my house anymore. It's actually somewhere else. We'll get to that a whole nother time. Okay, so I'm sure you see all these tracks here. They're not all playing. Cancel. Oh. Okay, so I did have a limiter on my main channel, and I opted for a limiter here instead of a clipper. Now, normally I would use a clipper, but A clipper added too much color and it just didn't sound as good as a limiter in this case. Now clipper actually adds a lot more headroom because it doesn't sound so crunched when you run it through a bunch of limiters. But dubstep is crunchy, so it's not, how do I put it? When I'm adding color to a track, I usually clip the snare, and depending on what part of the kick. If it's a bassy kick, I won't necessarily clip it. Let's listen to these parts in each stage, actually, because I feel like that's a valuable thing to hear. So, because each of these come on Ableton. Okay, you're good now. So, let's listen to this external out. So I'm driving this and then this one I'm driving into a compressor fairly hard, as well as a saturator. So it's going to add some peaks back in after I've already limited it. It's, I don't know, I like the way it sounds when I do that. I do that on 90% of the tracks that I master. It's just, I've tried other different like order of operations, so to speak, and this one turns out the best. Okay, so now we're on to the final stage. And this is, as you can see, it did add some peaks back in. Look at this. Look at the natural peaks it adds back in. And see, like, when you look at a track, this is what you want to see. You want to see it dense, but you want to see actual peaks. Now, just slamming it all into a limiter, you're going to have weird volume issues. And I try not to keep that going on in my production. So this is the mastering. I did keep the equalizer. I do like some assistance here usually, and I turn off a lot of this shit because it's not important. But sometimes I keep clarity and stabilizer because they add some high end in sometimes. This one adds a little bit of both high end and low end in at different times. I opted to keep it in. I liked it. And then my settings for my maximizer, I use balanced. And I'm never using stereo independence. I got a video on why you should never do this. Transient emphasis. I feel like all that does is add more peaks after the limiter. I don't think, I mean, I don't know, it's probably before the limiter, but it just feels like it adds peaks to it. And this is where I have everything set. I got it set to true peak, -0.1. This is very important to get as loud of a song as possible, and then I bring it into RX. So we're going to actually export it here too. I'm going to show you. We'll do this, we'll freeze this, export it, and then I'm going to get going home after we walk through all of this. It'll take me about 10 minutes to pack up, and then I'll be off. So yeah, that's basically the mastering setup here. I'm going to be able to just email it to myself. I still think it's funny that we were able to like listen to the remix that other people are sending in, and I think mine sounds a whole hell of a lot better, man. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of songs out right now because I'm looking for a manager. I'm looking for somebody that actually has some connections in the electronic industry. And to be honest with you, I've got a few friends in mind, but they haven't hit me back recently, and I'm not sure why. I used to like basically live at this guy's house, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if he wants to work with me or not. They own a management company and a music festival and a whole bunch of stuff. They do a bunch of stuff now. But I've got another guy I will hit up, and he'll probably want a piece of the action, so most likely I'll have a manager soon. And I've got, like, if you go to my SoundCloud, all those songs are technically unreleased. It's like a soft release. I just want to hear how they sound, and on like a streaming platform. So then I take this and I'll just export this right here. So you can see it's a lot fatter. We're going to export this 48K 32-bit. Make sure everything's set to that. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I don't know how many times I've done this. Okay, and then I'm going to bring up this in RX. So we're going to exit it out too. So this in RX. We'll go here. We'll exit this. Save changes. And then what I like to do, how I like to, nope. Okay, so I will get my resample out, my gain, my dither, and my loudness control. And I'll render this out with these settings. And then I'll render the gain out. I'll reduce the gain by 0.9. We've got a pretty loud track here. It's pretty loud. And then I will add dither to it. And now after that, the loudness control, do some calculations. Negative 9.6 true peak with a true peak at a negative 0.9. That is nice. So then I'll export it, and I'll export this as just a wave file, and I'll put RX at the end of it so that I know that I've ran this through RX. Then I'll export an MP3 of this as well, and then I'll just keep it as RX. And so this is going to take a minute. And then what I like to do is I like to send it to myself. So I've already got the email loaded up on the other screen here. So, but basically, once you have everything done, I've got a 44.1 kilohertz track, and it's 24-bit audio, so that when I do upload it to any streaming service, they don't mess with it. They just convert it down to MP3, OGG, ACC, whatever format they use, they convert it down then. If it's not already in that like file format of 44.1 and 24-bit audio, they're going to convert it down using their own methods. Now, I like to do this specifically so I have control over my audio and it doesn't create intersample peaks. Now, that's very important to me because I've had songs that created unwanted audible distortion, and that's not something I want. But anyway,